You are so special.
Right.
I nearly thought a cup of tea already.
Yeah, let's go.
Right, here we go. Hello everyone, my name's Brad and welcome to the first ever Pass+Move podcast. Today we'll be covering plenty of topics, including an update on our response to COVID-19, insights into the club and questions asked by you. That's much, much more. Alongside me, I have founders of the club, Tony Harris and Duncan Jones, head coach Tom Saunders, and the boy who couldn't get the ball in the bin, Josh Page.
Yeah, well played.
Before we have a little introduction
from
yourself, Tone, I have a question for Josh from Oakley Goldfinch, which is, has Josh learned to do the bin shot yet?
You can talk now, Josh.
You can. No, thank you, Josh. That's great. Tone, I'll hand it over to you.
This is weird, isn't it? First Pass+Move podcast. I've missed
and
you
Josh
all.
is still just as eloquent as usual.
So I've missed you all apart from Josh, who is still just as annoying on screen as he is in person.
30 seconds.
Very nice, isn't it? It's all a bit weird at the minute. It's what we 4 weeks post-training, I think, since we're forced to shut down. Hope everyone is staying safe and well and following government guidelines and only practicing in a garden. It's all a bit strange for us. Saturday morning, 10:10, we are normally training or coaching and enjoying ourselves at football. But at the minute, I'm in my back garden. Tom's in a toilet. Josh is in an office.
Oh, no, that's decent.
Brad, are you on a ship? Is that a porthole?
Mate, I think so. I don't know, to be honest.
Is Dunn playing FIFA already?
Dunn looks like...
Honestly,
He's getting withdrawal symptoms.
I'm playing Resident Evil while I'm listening to Tone. I'm not even going to lie.
That's about it from me, really. So we're 4 weeks into closure. We are awaiting, like everyone, when we can get back to normal, and then we can restart training. Brad, crack on, mate.
Well, just a word of warning. There might be a few technical errors, and to be honest,
he's making excuses already.
It's probably not a Pass+Move production without a few technical errors. So,
We're going, Brad. We usually smooth as silk our presentation evenings, mate. What are you on about?
We're going to move on with a couple of questions from some parents and players to get started. First one's from Tim Shaw. I'm going to go to Tom first. Who's your favourite ever player and why?
Oh,
Gary Neville.
Role model. Favourite ever player and why? I don't know. It's a tough one. I think it's quite tough to pick one player, isn't it? Because when you're kind of growing up watching football, there's always someone sort of people will kind of remember watching. I wouldn't say favourite. I don't know. It's tough. Ruud van Nistelrooy sticks out as a United player.
Seriously?
Well, no, if someone else sticks out as a player, I don't know. It's tough to think of like immediately off the cuff and go any player. I don't know. If you look at really good players, you probably say Fat Ronaldo is one that when I was growing up was playing. More recent, Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo has been unbelievable. Messi, obviously, but yeah, I think go back to when growing up, Scholes. You know,
how many are you picking?
Just one, buddy.
I thought the question was one.
Yeah.
Oh, we were trying to fill up. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll probably go Scholes, I reckon. Just an absolute baller, especially when he went from early in his career to, from an absolute goal scorer and then sitting further back in midfield, as he got a little bit older and then absolutely bossed that role as well.
Fair enough. Well, we'll probably go to the two Arsenal boys next. So, Dunk.
Me. Controversial probably for a few reasons because he was a bit of a questionable character. But
Adebayor?
Adebayor. Celebrations. No, it's got to be Diego Maradona for me, hands down. He's one of those few players. Everyone talks about Messi and Ronaldo, but Diego was the epitome of a player. You looked at him sometimes and you just thought he decided, I'm going to score now. And it didn't matter where he was on the pitch. He just took the game by the scruff of the neck, and he was just brilliant to watch. He was. People in this generation watch Messi, but anyone from our generation who saw like Diego Maradona in the 82 or 86 World Cup especially, or when he played for Naples, the way he moved with the football and the things he did in the game were just unbelievable. Plus the boy knew how to celebrate and party as well, which is a winner by my book. So Diego.
Fair enough. Joshy?
Sol Campbell just from my Tony.
Yes. We didn't just take your heart, we took your soul as well. Good from you, Joshua.
Well, then, Tone.
Gascoigne.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
All-round entertainer. Wore his heart on his sleeve. No one knew what he was going to do next, and he could be absolutely brilliant. And Italia 90, special memories. So, yeah, definitely Gascoigne.
Listen.
What's yours, Glenn Murray?
No, Big Glenn. Love a bit of Big Glenn. But
Glenn for England.
It'd be Mr. Stevie G. Absolute legend, mate. Just like role model, complete professional, just got to be him. So always.
Smashing it, the manager as well, actually, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's up in Scotland, so he's doing well there as well. So yeah, no, he's just a complete role model. So I'll probably go with him. But talking about Steven Gerrard, club and country, the next question is: would you rather play for your country and win a World Cup, or play for your supported team and win the Premier League?
World Cup.
World Cup.
Every day of the week.
Yeah, I think it's quite an easy one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know. Tony supports Tottenham, so they haven't obviously won it for a long time.
This one's tough for me. I think Tottenham and England are probably similar in terms of success. No, it's got to be a country, isn't it?
I'd love to lift the World Cup for Italy. I mean, it's just sorry.
Mate,
I'd love to
Maidstone.
World Cup.
Maidstone.
I'd love to.
Oh my God. Naples, just outside of Maidstone.
Rainer, really, that one, isn't it?
Got 4 weeks of picking on him. Come on, let's go.
So we're all agreed on that one that we go for.
Has to be country. Yeah,
Yeah,
has to be a country.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, well, bringing us back down to earth, as we're not actually playing for our countries and our clubs. So we're going to go with, what would be your best moment or the highlight of your career in a playing sense?
Go on, Josh.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't all go for it. Go on.
Come on, Josh. This will be funny, Josh. Go on, off you go, son.
3-0 lead in the cup quarter-final this season.
Oh, yeah, brilliant.
Oh, controversial. Oh.
We just have to pass now. Go on, Tony.
Probably playing for Sussex, probably. Under 18s in the FA Youth Cup final. It's probably my favourite one from a playing sense. All downhill from 18. So I played at Valley Parade. Lost, but it was still a good experience representing your county. Go on, Dunk, you got a couple of good ones.
Do you know what? I haven't really. I was racking my brains. They're all going to sound boring. I suppose it was all horrifically downhill afterwards, but when I signed my forms for Brighton, it was on the middle of the pitch on a table at the Goldstone before a first team home game. Me and another lad called Danny Smith, just us pair, in front of a full packed house at the Goldstone, which I love that ground when we used to play on it as well. That was probably my highlight. Went horrifically downhill after then. Discovered women and booze. Don't do that, fellas. But yeah, that'd be me. Brad, is you?
For me? Oh, I'll probably go for we won the league. So we all played together since literally we were 7 and basically won nothing except for the Celescombe tournament. And then in our last ever season together, we won the league. So it was just nice, sort of, where you grow up with everyone, all your mates, and then finally in your last season before you all got off to play men's football, it was like, just go and smash it and win the league. So, and the season before we lost out on like the last day of the season. It was literally like first, second, and third could have won it, and we were playing third. We were second, and we were playing third, and we lost, and third place won the league. And it's like, and then the season after, it's just good to come back and win it. So, yeah, that'd probably be me.
Fair. I'll probably say getting to play in the same team as Duncan Jones.
To be fair, Tom, that's a hell of a point, mate. It's a great shout. I would have said the same with you, mate. But you've got the worst positional sense of a fullback I've ever come across in my life, mate. But it's like, where's Wally? Where's Tom? Where's Tom? Where's Tom? Yeah, he's not a left back. Where's Tom? Oh, there he is. Yes.
Yeah. To be fair, you've got a good record from penalties this season as well, haven't you, Duncan? To be fair, mate.
What? Two and three?
2 was
100% record.
Look, can someone describe to me how that fella got across to that one anyway? Wow. Good save.
What, the one you missed at Tulkhill?
Yeah. As hell of a save.
I'll be
No, no,
Brad, next question, mate. Move on.
absolute cat.
On that note,
On that
Move
note,
on.
can
No,
we talk
move
about
on.
Tony's debut? The first minute of the first ever adult game for Pass and Move, right? Ball comes down, gets caught under the ball, they score, his hand goes up, yeah, I'm injured, and he hobbles off. That was Tony's illustrious debut.
I made my debut in a friendly, so I'm not counting that.
To be fair, it was just the whole team talk on like before we went out. I loved that first game where it was just like, just get the ball in the net, keep the ball for a bit, and then we'll get into the game. We'll grow into the game. Keep the ball for a good 2-3 minutes. Popped it over the top of us and scored.
Wait, we did in the end. We did.
Later, it's 5-5.
Once we got put our toys back in the pram and we'd all found our dummies, we did score some fantastic goals in that game. I've got to admit, that was well bad. And then you missed an absolute peach, Brad, to win it.
To be fair, I don't
To be fair, at that point, it wasn't to win it. It was just to get the points. Don't talk about them things because there's
anyway, should we
definitely
move
worse
away
misses
from
than mine.
Pass and Move adults? It's probably not what we should be talking about.
Yeah,
But
can
I
we
want to
jump
talk
on?
about Tony calling safe.
About what?
About Tony calling safe.
Yeah, let's move
Oh
on.
yeah. We'll move on from the adults then. What would be your best moment as a coach?
Are you asking?
Who do you want to start?
Go on, Tom.
We'll go for Tom. Go on.
I'll go. I think there's obvious one, probably now the 14s. We won the first Roller Cup final, and we're still at Westfield, and they were under 10s, so 4 years ago now. That was great. The other one for me that sticks out is I think it was last year, where I think Lewis tournament, now the under 10s, so they're under 9s last year. We had a squad of 7 players, and you look around and they're all getting on like brilliantly. Every single player was from a different school. So players that wouldn't have been friends in school normally just through football, they'd all got on really, really well. They didn't win that. I think they lost in the semi-finals, but the fact that we're taking kids from all over the place and they all got so well was amazing. That sticks out for me.
Go on, Joshua.
I'm not ready. Someone else go. I'm trying to think. Tone, you're going.
Probably Holland first year.
Sammy Dawes.
Yeah. Sammy was second doors, but the first time we went to Holland with everyone together, the moment with Sam Dawes' second year was amazing, and that's probably one of my proudest moments. But from the first year when it first happened and it all came together and it worked out as well as it could have done, I think was probably my best moment from our coaching side of it. That's it. It takes a lot to please me. Come on, move on.
Sammy Dawes for me. There's a lot of people at the club now who probably don't even know Sammy. Sammy's a young lad who now plays for 1066 Specials, and it was year 2 in Holland. And Sammy had been with us from the very, very start. And it was a now under 14 games, and Sammy was coming on and playing, and he was having fun. And we decided we wanted him to score a goal. That was all. And it was it was the start of the second half, but it was what the lads did, and it was everything that it kind of epitomised. It was a centre, and they didn't just pass the ball to Sammy and let him run through and score. They all started putting him under pressure, Tone, didn't they? And you had lads sliding in, pretending they were trying to clear him out, and he was jinking past. He was running past people. You had all the fans watching, and everyone was just enthralled. And then right at the end, because I was behind the far goal, he pushed the ball too far out of his feet, didn't he, Tone? And you looked at, I think it was Aidan Castle in goal, and you thought, oh no. And Aidan then did something, I can't even remember what it was, but he kind of made it look like he'd been sent the wrong way. And Sammy ran through and put the ball in the net, and then you had both teams, all like 20 of the lads, just engulf Sammy and start celebrating. And the look on his face, the look of the fans, and everything it epitomised about what we are, what we're trying to be. For me, hands down, that moment with Sammy Dawes was
that was what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
No, it was more than that, wasn't it? It was second year in Holland.
And then when we saw Sam last year down at the Bognor tournament.
Yeah,
and,
true.
And then the whole thing coming full cycle, seeing him play for 1066 Specials, like the reaction to him when he saw us and his dad was, it was brilliant. So yeah,
I don't think there wasn't a dry eye on the pitch when that happened, when Sammy scored that goal.
That was good.
It was absolutely, that was brilliant.
What do you reckon, Josh?
Just like seeing the progression of players. So Saturday mornings, I'm like the youngest group we've got. Like seeing those guys move up through the groups there, going into our teams, just seeing them enjoy football.
Yeah, I can agree with that, because where we've been in this whole lockdown thing, I've been going back through the old photos and stuff like that, of all the old photos of the Pass and Move players we have, and like back to the Westfield days. And there's pictures from my side, like Ollie, Morel, Riley Miller, all that lot, from when they're literally right down like this small, and it's just mad to see how much they've grown and how what we started with.
Yeah, I think it's easy when you're seeing players all the time. It's quite easy to forget how far they've come, because you're not seeing those small changes all the time. But when you actually go back to, under 7s, 8s, I mean, you two, Silent Dump with Alfie and Harry, surely you must look back and then actually realise how far they've come sometimes.
Yeah, there's a photo of us in our first team from, I think, is it Westfield School, if I remember rightly, Dunk?
Yeah,
there's
crutches in it, isn't it?
Crutches in it. And I look at that side and I think there's 4 players still playing for our teams. And some kids have gone to other clubs, some have moved on to different sports and that, but I think one thing I probably should have said earlier about one of my favourite moments as a coach is you look around the amount of kids we've helped in their fall in love with football, whether they play for Pass and Move, whether they've gone to a different club, or they only play for the school, or they play like socially. Just seeing the amount of kids that we've impacted and seeing the amount of kids wearing Pass and Move jackets or whatever in supermarkets when you're out is, it's quite powerful, to be fair.
I think we've made a few fall out of love with football as well, to be fair.
Speak for yourself, mate. My coaching's all friendly.
I've got another one, actually, if we're talking about this time, off the back of what you just said, because we say a lot, it's not about winning, and it's not. It's about how they play, how they learn to develop. But the first time we won Ball Variety,
I was thinking about that earlier.
With the full teams, and the football they played and the competition they had to beat, especially in the final, because they destroyed the side they came up against in the final, who were a very, very good side. And it kind of epitomised everything we've been working towards. It was only the Ball Variety tournament, but for me, that 1066 is always... It's hung over my head a little bit because I've never won it. So watching the full teens, what were they then, Tom? What age group was it? 12s?
2 or 3 years ago now.
2 or 3 years ago.
End of under 12. So just about to go on the end of the season for under 12s, I think.
Yeah. The other thing is we did it in the right manner as well, because all the lads, and the girls, they all had equal playing time. There was no like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I mean, they all played the same amount of football, and they were phenomenal. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that side's been on I guess it's our guinea pig side, really, being the first one we started with.
We've always said that, haven't we?
Watching them go on their journey, and
still are, aren't they? They always will
had
be.
A couple of really outstanding seasons. This last season that's just come to an end has been a tougher one in terms of the standard they're playing against. But seeing them stick together and be committed as a group has been good.
When you work with like a bunch like, say, the under 8s, Tom, that we work with now, they wouldn't be where they are if it wasn't for the now 14s, because all the lessons we've had to learn and put in place over what works, what the structure should be, how we should plan stuff. It's all because of the mistakes we've had to make, unfortunately, with the under 14s. I mean, how many times have we changed our approach, Tom?
Oh, I've made a few. Yeah, quite a few mistakes.
I mean, I can remember the first time we ever had that under 14s. We had that group of players. We had 2 sides, and the way we even split the teams, we look at now and you think it was completely all wrong, but at the time you don't know that. You're learning as you go, which I think a lot. It's easy for people to forget. We're even now, after doing it for 8 years, we're still learning. We're still fathoming things out, and the structure for the team. So this is the first year we've actually got something in place. We think this is the structure, this is how it will work, it should work. But even that, the 8s is still a trial. Looks like it's working, but we'll still have to review it in like a 6 months' time to make sure it's right. So I think it's easy to forget that we're still working out what works best.
It's nice that it's come sort of full circle like that as well, that the younger ones, the 7s and 8s, are being coached by the 14s, 15s, or the young coaches now as well. They actually realise, they look back at it and remember when they go, oh, I remember when we did this and it's a bit different. This is how I learned, and you can help it that way.
Exactly. It's like you say, you work when you got Harry coaching or Alfie coaching, you watch them coaching the youngsters, especially the little 7s and 8s. I mean, it was the other week, wasn't it? Was it Josh where Harry came up with a cone idea for scoring systems? They run off and place a cone down, and it's stuff you look at and you think, actually, that's quite good, but I wouldn't have thought of it because I'm older. I'm not a child. So sometimes a youngster coaching has ideas that he will relate and the kids will enjoy better than we would. And so they bring so much to it, and you can see they enjoy it, and it helps them. You watch Alfie's confidence now, how it's improved as well, where he's coaching makes a massive difference.
Yeah, it's good. It's good seeing everyone get involved. I think they all go from our a freaking violet to coaching, refereeing games, his own game, and just seeing kids fall in love with football is a big thing. Hi, Eves.
So that video where, where the baby walks in the room and and the mum comes in, just thought he's crawling, like walking from the back.
He's now standing there staring at me, freaking out.
Next one is from Anthony Andrews, and he asks, can you recommend a football drill that can be done in a small garden? And we had Toby Ford ask on Instagram as well, can there be more challenges? So I'll probably kick that one off and just say thank you for all your submissions for the latest PM challenge. What we're going to do is we're going to put a challenge up every Monday on the page, and then just keep giving you the videos, posting them back out and sharing them on our feeds so that everyone can see them. This is going out on Tuesday, so all of the other ones would have gone out by now. But for the bin shot, we had so many, and some of them were just absolutely fantastic, like Joey Beckett's.
Oh,
that was a different class, wasn't it?
Tom Porter's was just
Tom Porter's,
ridiculous. But all of you, fantastic, and thank you for sending them in. We are also going to just put out some general videos on sort of footwork, stuff like that, technical stuff that you can work on. We did film a couple of bits, but they're slightly out of focus.
I've got that one I can put up, Tom. The inside-outside one.
But we might refilm them and just do them in a slightly different way, but we'll get to that and we can sort stuff out for that.
I think the most important thing in a minute is just, without sounding too obvious, stay safe, stay in your garden.
Yeah.
Just everyone follow the advice being given. But if you're in your own garden and got a ball at your foot, trying to juggle, playing off a wall if you've got a wall, just anything basic like that. Just have fun. Don't worry about it too much. Just kick about with your parents or your siblings, but most importantly, stay safe. So that's my view at the minute.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think if you're in a garden, you've got a ball, anything you do is going to improve you. You're not going to get worse if you're out in a garden with a football.
Tom, have you got a football? Just suggesting that.
Actually, I have got. But, yeah, I'll put that in.
How have you lost, Tom?
I'm clapping myself here.
I think, as long as you're out there and you're trying, and you're not going to go wrong. To be honest, don't worry about it too much. Don't worry about doing the right thing or the wrong thing. If you've got a football, you're going to improve.
Next one. We've got a few here from Jim Butler. I think he went off on one of your group chats and just delivered so many questions at once. This is more directed at Tony and Dunk, to be honest. It could be to all of us, actually. It says, tell us something that we, the parents and the kids, wouldn't know about running a football club.
Don't pick that one up.
I think the big thing for me, the difficult thing with it is, and we fully understand that we don't get everything right, and we try our best, but we're never going to be able to keep everyone happy. I don't think anyone really understands the amount of work that goes on in the background with it all, especially for a club of our size growing at the speed it is. And as it grows, we need to kind of try and keep the right amount of the standards up for the ever expanding club. But it takes up so much time, so much time. And yes, it is something we absolutely love. But I think the other thing you need to remember is, with the football club, it's technically as well. This isn't the day job. It's effectively a hobby. It's something we love doing, but it takes up so much time. And I never realised how much time it was going to take up. Tone, would you agree?
Yeah. When we first started, it was almost like we were just running a team. So you're just dealing with one side. And now, over the years, we've grown, and that's brilliant. Like I said earlier, in terms of a big buzz I get is seeing how many kids fall in love with football and are playing, and we've had a bit of an impact on that in whichever size. But the amount of workload on the back of it, dealing with phone calls, dealing with email, dealing with text messages,
constant
basic stuff that you don't even think about, just negotiating pitch fees, struggling through a season when it's been the wettest that I've ever known it be, and trying to find pitches, trying to not battle with other clubs, but competing with other clubs for an all-weather pitch when there's only 3 in Hastings and Bexhill, I think, that are FA approved. Have to play on FA approved surface, so that makes it a difficult criteria. Balancing the money, trying to keep our subs as low as we can, so that we aren't pricing people out of being able to play. We
Sheer
always want
logistics of it all as well.
Yeah, it's just a never-ending. You normally think you get a break when it gets to summer for pre-season and that, but if anything, it picks up even more because you're like working on pitches, and Tom will know, he's done a lot with me, and Luke did as well, in terms of working on, and Josh and Brad, to be fair, working on pitches at Netherfield, Catsfield, trying to make the surface better, which I won't say what that's like at the minute. It's a difficult balancing act. There's a lot of time that goes into it. I think it's not a lot of time on one little thing. It's a lot of time on lots of different things. And I guess from our end, we need to be, I do need to be better at asking people to help.
Yeah.
And not just taking everything on and doing it all. And because sometimes it can get a little bit much. This year's been a tough year with it all. We've gone from one side originally to 27?
28.
28 teams now.
Sides.
And that'll probably become
30,
32 next year.
32 next year.
Which adds to the headache around it.
We love what we do and we love what we built, and this means masses to us. And for us, as it grows, and I'm talking about us all here, it's incredibly important that as we grow, we don't lose any of the fundamentals that have made Pass and Move what Pass and Move is. That we're a family. We are a family. We're a journey, as we like to say, and we don't want to lose any of that. So it's making sure as we grow, every player, every parent that comes into the club is getting the same experience as those players and parents did in the beginning when we were a smaller unit. And you do look at other clubs who've come through and who've now disappeared because they grew and they grew and they grew and they couldn't sustain it and they fell away. We're not going to let that happen. But unfortunately, it's a hell of a lot of work. Me and Tone have always said, and Tom said, and we all say, we're always there if parents are unhappy and they have something they want to talk about. If we know there's a problem, we can deal with it, and we are approachable. We like to think that parents realise that, but also we like to think as well that sometimes parents will understand, or maybe this will help understand actually how much we're dealing with outside of just their little issues. Not that their issue isn't important, because of course it is, but there's a lot going on and we're having to deal with a lot at once. And I think it's hard work, but that's what
it's a difficult thing when you think I think I'm right saying 270 kids play for Pass and Move, in the actual teams, and then you've got kids that don't play for the club but come to community sessions or want to train. And we never want to turn anyone away. If we've got space in teams, we'd always let people play. It's and every parent's concern about their child is the most important thing to them.
As it should be.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. As a parent myself, you look at it that way, your prime concern is your child. But when you look at it, 270 kids, and you've got parents with the odd bit here and there they want to talk about, it becomes a lot of phone calls, becomes a lot of messaging. It's add that to having a full-time job, having a family, other bits and pieces that go on. It takes a lot of time up. But we wouldn't do it if we didn't enjoy it. So
we love it. We love what we've built, and long may it continue.
Yeah, I think a lot. Even when we're not doing stuff, I think you guys probably do the same as me. I think everyone is involved with the club. Is you never stop thinking about it. There's always something on your mind. There's never one thing either. It's always 5 or 6 things active we're actually doing, whether it be pitch renovations, fixtures, tournaments, tour. We're always thinking about going on tour again. But it's finding the time to get all these things done. But we love it. Wouldn't have it any other way, I'm sure.
Did we answer the question, Brad, or I just rambled?
What was the question?
I don't even know.
No disrespect, Jim. We love you, Jim, but we've lost our thread. What was Jim's point?
The question was just about things about running the football club that people wouldn't know, and you.
Yes.
I know exactly, because you put it.
Yeah, workload. There you go.
We've covered it off.
We'll dive a little deeper into the club.
Also, Jim taking photos of me when I'm having a snore on the train because I'm exhausted and posting it on base groups. That's not good, Jim.
No, that's
I was absolutely catching flies and dribbling, Jim. I didn't need the world seeing that.
we got another one from Jim and one from David Checkfield as well. They sort of cover the same sort of thing. We can put them together. David asked, is there any chance of finding a venue for games that are in jeopardy of being called off? So many games called off this year and most were predictable. We've sort of explained that just now, but Jim also asked that what are the current plans for a permanent home ground for SC Pass and Move? Obviously we did have the one at Battle that we looked at opposite the garage, but obviously that fell through. But just if there's any update from anyone on.
Do you want me to grab that one, Brad?
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Right, so I mentioned earlier, it's difficult. In Hastings, you've only got pitches that are FA approved is Clavering Sports Centre. Hastings Academy, I don't know if the pitch at Hastings Academy is actually FA approved. It wasn't when we used to train there. And then you've got Bexhill College. Now, that's it for an area the size of Hastings, Bexhill.
You got a ride. There's a small Friday one at Ride.
Yeah, and surrounding villages. It's obviously a lot of teams play and a lot of other sports. It's not just football trying to get these pitches. Add to that, the cost is quite prohibitive. So to give you an idea, if you were to go and hire Clavering 3G, I think I'm right in saying it's £55 for the hour to hire it just for the pitch. So effective, if you're playing a 9v9 game, so under 11s, 12s, you look at least an hour and a half. So you're looking at sort of £60, £70, depending on what rate you get. We've worked with the guys at Clavering, Andy, the sports centre manager, closely over the years. And I don't know if all the boys know this yet, but we've managed to strike an agreement with Andy that we will be hiring Clavering 3G every Saturday between the hours of 9 and 12, I think we agreed, from start of September, so start of the football season, through up to the end of April, which gives us that flex that we can now, we'll play home games there even when the weather's good for certain teams. And when the weather's poor, it gives us the flex that we've got a 3G venue on a Saturday morning that we can access. We tried to get it a lot more than we did the season that's just been cancelled. But due to other clubs having it booked, other sports taking it, we missed out. So moving forward from September for this year coming, we've taken the view that a not too inconsiderate investment, because it is not cheap, has been made or will be made by us, and we'll rotate the teams that play on it. So it won't necessarily be, for an example, under 9 Blacks home pitch. It will be rotated amongst the sides so that when we get to wet weather, we have an option that teams don't necessarily go 4 weeks without a game, because we know it's frustrating. I mean, that's a different conversation apart from just pitches, but that is tough. In terms of a longer term plan, I guess long term, yeah, we would love to have Duncan and I have always spoke, and Tom's been imparting to this from the beginning, is that we would love a venue similar to what we saw in Holland, where you've got enough pitch formats that we can all play in one place. In reality, it's not been possible. It's not that we haven't stopped looking. We had a great site that we were offered, but unfortunately planning consent didn't come through, which put that on a back burner. We've since worked very closely with people like Catsfield Recreation Ground, Netherfield Recreation Ground, US Green, St Anne's Academy we utilise. So we've sort of spread out in more locations. Long term, yeah, we'd love to have a venue, but at the moment we're making considerable investments into these recreation grounds to try and get the surfaces at a level that we can play football on. And that's a long-term project. We invested quite a bit of money into Netherfield Rec in the summer, just got in last summer. And if you go out there now, you'd look at it going, why have we spent that money? Because it's lumpy, it's bumpy. The wet weather's changed the surface layout, and the soil structure beneath the surface. It's a long-term plan. So it's going to be sort of 4 or 5 years that we invest in these places that get it to a level that's playable. I mean, the best one we got is US Green by distance, but that's only big enough for 7v7. So it's great up until under 10s. But then moving on from that, as you know, Brad, you then move on to a bigger pitch and you've got to find another venue to play out of. So it's I guess, in answer to Jim's previous question, it links to that as well. This is the sort of stuff that happens in the background that we all work on. We all go and get involved in pitch maintenance. We're all looking for different venues that aren't being utilised that are affordable and keep our fees at an affordable level for everyone. You know, I'm proud that we're a very reasonable club to play for in terms of cost. I don't want to be pricing people out of being able to play football, and I would rather we have slightly inferior venues, but we have the opportunity for more children to play. And that for me is the biggest reason I get into football coaching at the beginning, was that can we pass on the love I had as a kid to play football that I was given from, to be fair, my dad, who coached the side I played in. Can I pass that love back down to other kids? And that's something we look to do. But that's my long-term plan. Yeah, so that's a long one.
Good though, because to be fair, the next question was, where do you see the club in 5 to 10 years' time?
Oh, I'll jump that then, move on. Done that.
So, we don't really need to cover that so much, but
I guess in 5 to 10 it's an ongoing thing. So, would we love in 10 years' time to have our own playing venue? Absolutely. Long term, blue sky thinking we'd have a 5v5, a 7v7,
Can't
a
believe
9v9.
you've just used that phrase.
Yeah, you're welcome. And an 11v11. Mate, I've had 4 weeks working from home. I've been on so many work calls.
Think outside the box.
Yeah, absolutely. So we would love a venue that's got one of each pitch format. But in reality, the size we are, 32 teams, you said, Dunk, next season?
Yeah.
We would need at least 2 pitch size formats. So to get that in one place is a real
It's still the dream.
Absolute dream, yeah, but it's not an easy thing. So
it's finding that piece of land. It's fine. So if anyone knows of anything out there, we're please let us
if
know.
Anyone's got 20 acres they want to pass over, that'd be great.
But I think the other thing is that Tone said as well, it's keeping the subs at the right level for parents as well, because we've always been football for all. We've never said no to kids playing football. We never want to be in a situation where we have got this dream home, but parents can't afford to bring their kids along to play there, because that's the polar opposite of everything we're trying to be. But yeah, the dream is we want to find that venue, that one home where we can all be. And the great thing would be you've got the 14s, 15s, 16s turning up to play on an 11-a-size pitch, and they can turn around and they can watch and they can be alongside the little new 7s coming through who are enjoying playing 5v5. That's the whole idea. We say we're a family, and nothing would make us happier in a situation where on a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning we've got all parents, all players being able to watch and witness everything that's going on across all the age groups. And that would probably help a lot of our problems with parents as well, because they start to see the scale of what's going on as opposed to turning up and just seeing a few sides playing.
That's the thing from your and I point of view, Dunk, as well, as founders. I would love to be able to, like you're involved with the 7s and 8s now, I'd love to be able to watch my 14s play, then turn around the next game and watch the 7s and 8s play.
Yeah, well, it's a perfect example of how much
trying to keep it as intimate as we can. We had between us all sat down, did a bit of a think about things last year, and my one concern was, are we getting so big we're losing the intimacy and the family feel of Pass and Move? And that's something we still between us all talk about. How can we change that? And there's kids playing. Dunk and I are co-founders that some of them I don't even know who they are. We've got so many kids, and it's that disappoints me personally when I look around and go, I don't actually know who that kid is. And that's because I don't get to see him. I mean, I've got to watch. I went with Cookie to a game when I had a game called off just before the season was annulled. Watch the 12s play. Brilliant, because I get to stand there with completely neutral. I'm not wrapped in the game and how things have been going, and I get to observe one of our teams. And the football they played was brilliant, but the enjoyment they showed, the smile on their face, the attitude of them, loved it. As a coach and like as the chairman, it's great to stand there and watch it. And I managed to catch the 8s, I think it was, that Dunk was doing straight after. Yeah. And just even for like 10 minutes, picking up bits of the game, it's nice to feel connected, and for parents to see like us 5. It's more than just us on this in the club. We are so lucky the amount of volunteers we got, but it would be nicer to keep it more intimate. That's why I love things like our Sign On Day, when everyone is there and you look around and see the sheer size of it. We've become very big very quickly, and trying to keep it cheap enough and trying to keep that family feel to it will be an ongoing battle. Are you putting alcohol gel on your hands?
Yep.
Mate, how ropey is your household?
That's aloe vera gel.
You don't know what's about to happen.
Right, mate, family-friendly podcast. Can we move on? Yeah, wow. Next question, quick.
We got
Someone on mute, Dunk.
a couple of
games we've won this year. This is like the wettest. I think we all agree it's been the wettest winter we've had since God knows, to be honest. But it's not just finding 3Gs. We are doing a lot of work to the grass pitches as well, to try and make them drain as well as we can and get playing on them as much as possible, because we want to play on grass where possible. So it's kind of like a 2-pronged attack on that one, or 3-pronged if you obviously talk about trying to find a long-term home as well. So it's something we're fully aware of, definitely working on.
Okay, we have I'm not sure how to put this, but a slightly odd one from Simon Hughes, and the question is, why is Josh? That's it.
It's something we ask ourselves every day, I think.
No one really knows.
Just why is what I ask. Every time I see him, I just ask why. Why have you done that?
Watch him on a football pitch, you will ask yourself why.
Do you have I feel like you're getting shots fired against you, Josh, here. So come on.
We love you, Josh. We love you. We love you, mate, but why?
I think easier question to answer is, what is Josh?
What is Josh?
How do you define yourself?
Go down to the fundamentals of Josh.
Mate, if we're going into this, I'm going to start charging you for psychology.
Yeah.
If I'm going to start shrinking you out and trying to help you, I'm expensive.
Basically, in short,
Idiot.
fantastic footballer, fantastic coach, fantastic role model. Knows why it just kind of happens.
Okay. Well,
I've got a question. I've got a serious question, and I'm looking at these cameras here, and it's kind of validating my question. Apart from you, Tone, sitting down there in the bottom corner, don't get envious over this. What's everyone doing with their barnets? There's no haircuts going on. I'm going full Ibra. Now the man's one of my legends anyway, so I think very soon I'm going to be top knotting and everything, mate. But what are the lads doing out there? Are they letting their mums cut their hair? Why would you ever allow that to happen? Josh, you need something doing, mate. Looking at this video chat.
Josh, join me.
Did you cut your own? You cut your own. Brothers?
I've got a little. My mum did mine.
Your mum's hairdresser. That's all right, isn't it?
Exactly. So
I can't. I'm not letting Suze near my mop with a pair of scissors. No.
I've got clippers. I will mask up. I will glove up, and I will come around and give you a matching barnet to me.
You would happily.
We probably raise a lot of money doing that.
Oh yeah, Pass+Move vote, Brad. Put that out. Should every coach get a skinhead?
No, mate. I'm growing my hair. I'm going Ibra. I don't want to skin it. I will look like Groot.
Mate, you and Dunk with that with a haircut like mine, that beak of yours would look special.
Mate, I will look like Groot, stroke Dr. Nefario. No. I'm actually checking it out. It's in the old cam. It's getting there. Not quite enough for the old.
Mate, and also Dunk, if you go top knot, I will actually step away from Pass+Move. I can't be associated with any man with the top. It's bad enough seeing John Joe do it, let alone you get involved in it.
Seriously. I'm going full greasy wop.
Well, we have another question, which sort of carries on from Dunk's question, to be honest. This is from Oakley Goldfinch, and I think Harry Medhurst. It's a Harry M on Instagram. I think it's Harry Medhurst. And that was, what made Tony lose his hair?
I've coached Harry for quite a while.
Yeah, good reason.
Can't be a
and I've also been involved coaching Oakley at community coaching when we were at Westfield. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but you didn't have hair then, did you?
No, I didn't. Genetics, unfortunately. Boys.
He used to have a cracking pair of curtains. Do you know that?
Yeah, true story.
Can you imagine Tony with curtains?
Mate, I found a photo of me at under 18 football with bleached blonde hair.
Decent. Good luck.
Kids don't use a lot of product. What happens?
Well, we've run out of questions. Oh, actually, no, we haven't. We got one more from Jim, and it's what is each of your proudest moments as coaches so far? But we sort of really covered that, because I think we'd all be agreed that it's really Sammy Dawes or just seeing the progression of players. So unless anyone else has anything to add, we are questions.
What's everyone missing most? Obviously, where we've been away from football.
You, Tom. I'm missing you.
Lies. We've probably been away from 3 or 4 weeks. What's everyone like realistically? What have you? Is there anything you realise that you actually really enjoy when you're coaching that now you're not doing it? You probably realise you miss.
Fresh air.
I'm out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough, Josh.
I miss the interaction with all the kids and with the other coaches. Just the laugh we have, the enjoyment you get, the reward from a coaching perspective of when you see the kids improve. When you see them enjoying things, when you're trying new sessions or whatever it may be, just generally seeing them love playing football. And I miss the crack with you horrible lot, unfortunately.
I tell you what,
4 weeks in now, 4 weeks of no football, it feels very weird.
It's easy to take things for granted. I mean, I commute up and back to London during the week. And yes, on Saturday mornings now and then when the alarm goes off at 7 o'clock, you're like, I don't want to get out of bed. And you drag yourself out of bed and it's raining and we're setting up pitches, or I'm late for setting up pitches. That's probably more realistic. But true story. But at the same point, I tell you what, I would love now, and next time that alarm goes off and we're back to normal, you will get no more of me. I will be out of bed in a bang. And I couldn't think of anything that was more happy. To the academy for Saturday morning football.
Bradley,
at the moment.
Make sure that little clip goes up every Saturday morning.
Right, I'm still going to be late. My fluid sense of timing is not what is up for question.
You're strolling.
If you're important, people will wait.
No, they don't. They don't, because things are set up and the games are played. You're bowling with a cup of coffee.
I'm there.
You're bowling with a cup of coffee and there'll be games going on already. That's in reality what is going to happen. And then me and Tom going,
either way, I'll miss getting there late. I'll miss Tom's moody little face because I'm late. I'll miss the abuse I get off you, Tone, I just miss it all. And I miss Josh giving me a big hug. And Brad, you're not usually there Saturday mornings, but I miss you anyway.
I'll pop down after my game. I'll come and say.
Give me a little hug.
It's just now we should all be going to some place.
I miss breakfast.
I've done all right. I've lost quite a bit of weight last 4 weeks because of no breakfast.
Tell you what, mate, you needed it.
Everyone make a fry up.
I'm only here for the breakfast.
I miss the Bridge Calf. I miss the fry up at the Bridge Calf.
Yeah.
I don't miss the Bridge Calf toilet.
I miss the red bus.
Rico.
The red bus. What's going on with the red bus, man? It's sad times.
Anyone from the big red bus is listening.
Please come back.
Please come back.
Bring back the red bus.
Oh, that red bus. It's just missing football. It's just mad because I go to loads of football games and stuff like that, and honestly, it's just like the worst thing ever. Like I didn't think it would be that bad. Like not just like coaching views, like just the whole thing of football. It's just you don't realise how much like you're in with it, and then when someone takes that away, it's just like oh.
Yeah, it's not just like we're not playing or coaches because there's no football anywhere really, is there?
I miss match of the day on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
I just miss it.
As a Spurs fan this season, I'm absolutely delighted we're not. It's been shocking.
We haven't lost in like 3-4 weeks now.
I know, it's decent, isn't it? It's a bit like Tony's record in November.
January.
Best run of results.
My record in January was unreal.
But do you not find it's a bit surreal? Like I'll be out in the garden, I'll be digging or doing plant beds, whatever, and the sun's shining. You're like, oh, this is lovely, and then suddenly it's like you forget, and then there's this moment of realization where everything that's going on outside your door suddenly comes flooding back in. It's
like this morning, isn't it? If you're out garden doing whatever this morning, but anything where you would be and what you would be doing, that's when you start to miss it. I think, and you realise, what you're actually missing.
It sounds crazy, but I'd much rather be coaching right now. Much rather be at Saturday mornings.
Remember that. Next time you're going to me, do I have to come Saturday? It's weird, isn't it? It's it's a strange old time. I think it was quite nice having a week off to start with, but now 4 weeks is a long old time with no football.
When it was just grassroots football stopped for a bit, still go out, still go do stuff. Pubs are still open. It was all right. But now I actually have to see my family. It's horrible.
Now reality has hit home.
Yeah.
I must admit, for them.
Gosh, I'm surprised you've not been kicked out yet, mate, to be honest. I would have had money on your mum and dad bidding you by now.
All right, gang.
Right, stay safe, everyone.
Yeah, stay safe.
Hopefully, see you soon.
It's been emotional. Love you all. See you soon.
Brad, are we doing a follow-up one to this? If we get at least one like.
Yeah, if we get a good response, then we'll do a follow up one. But I just want to say thank you to all of you guys, Tone, Dunk, Tom, Josh, and of course a big thank you to everyone joining in.
Can't see, but I'm waiting
for the Pass+Move pod. Although we're in these uncertain times, I'd just like to say we do all need to stick together, but obviously
2 minutes apart.
Make sure you continue to adhere to the government instructions and stay at home where possible. Thank you to all the key workers for keeping the country going, and a special mention to our wonderful NHS.
Yeah,
the staff who are risking their lives every day just for the good of others, and it's just appreciated by everyone. Parents, players, whoever's listening, enjoy the time you're having at home with your loved ones. To the kids, although we might not be there to teach you, continue kicking the football around the garden, annoying your neighbours. It won't be long till you're back out on the field, scoring goals and having fun with all your mates. Thank you for sticking with us through these times, and we'll see you all on the other side, whenever that may be.
That's deep, Brad. I like that.
That's very deep. What's good looking and hangs up?
Me. Right. See you later.
Boys,
He's gone. That's just gone.